Hey Warhammer fans, and welcome to the Tomb Citadel. Today we're going to be talking about the new launch set for 9th edition titled Indomitus. Here we have the new box art for the set. It shows a Primaris Lieutenant with his Power Sword and Storm Shield, as well as a series of Necron warriors in the background and the foreground. First, when we're going to open up this box, we're going to take a look at the Primaris Captain. He is super cool. Everybody loves his storm shield with a nice skeleton on top of that. He has a good power sword. I'm not too sure what that glint's supposed to be. I don't know if it's cracking or if it's just the energy or something that they just painted on. But he's got his nice big bulky detailed armor. We're going to take a quick look here at the sprue set. And you can see that there's like a lot of scatter. He has a custom base for him to stand upon, as well as a few like Necron body parts. I think there's a Necron head somewhere in there. Very cool, very customizable. He has several custom heads, including the new lifted visor that I know a lot of people are excited about. And so he looks like he's going to be a really fun model to kind of build and paint up and get on your tables. Next, we're going to take a look at the Primaris Lieutenant. Of course, we already have a million of these guys, but one more can't hurt, can it? Um, so this guy's actually cool. He's got his storm shield and a Volkite blaster, or Volkite pistol. Fans of 30K will already know what this guy does, but us 40K people will, you know, be waiting with bated breath to see what kind of updates Belisarius Call is kind of given this weapon. I'm hoping maybe it has something to do with the new blast rule, but we'll take a look later. But if we're going to take a look really quick at his sprue set, not nearly as much customization, obviously, as the captain, but still really nice details, really nice kind of posing. Um, it's kind of weird that the box art shows him holding the power sword, but in the model, he's just going to be keeping it sheathed. Um, but I'm sure a few little clippings and updates will be able to kind of fix that and see multiple different poses out of this guy. Up next, we have the Primaris Chaplain. This guy was really kind of underwhelming for me, and I think a lot of people. We already kind of have a bunch of different chaplain models, and they all always kind of have this same kind of raised Crozius pose. He's definitely really detailed. It's really cool, like model as a whole. But I really kind of wish that they did something to kind of bring out, I don't know, some sort of other element, kind of like the other models in this set have done, to really kind of elevate the model. So this guy was just kind of underwhelming for me. But up next, we have the Judiciar. This guy is probably the coolest model in this set. He's got his super awesome Executioner blade that's kind of reminiscent of like old-timey knights and the blades that they use to execute people. He also has his really cool relic hourglass that I'm really excited to see what that can do as far as the rules are concerned. But this model is just awesome. All the details, all of the skulls. He's just the embodiment of death for the Angels of Death. So it'll be really cool to see what he does and what people kind of do with him as a model conversion wise. Up next, we have the Blade Guard Ancient. Another really well done, really well made model. His banner is really cool. All of the details, another skeleton. His interesting little chain skeleton hand. Will be interesting to see if that kind of has any special rules or abilities. But yeah, no, this model looks really cool in relation to the regular ancients. So it'll be interesting to see if this guy's any different, or if he's just kind of a stand-in for the ancients. And then finally, we have the Blade Guard veterans. Or not finally, we have another one after this. The Blade Guard veterans. I'm hoping that these guys are going to be kind of new bodyguards for Marines. I feel like that's something that's really kind of missing, especially since the Cicatrix bodyguards are Ultramarines only. So kind of having this kind of durable bodyguard, especially for all of these new characters, sounds like it'd be really good for uh, various types of Marine lists. If they don't end up being bodyguards, it's going to be kind of disappointing. I don't know that Marines need kind of another just bulky melee unit that's just going to stand around and I guess do kind of nothing. But let's take a look at these sprues for, oh no, look at the Eradicator keep forgetting about that guy. These guys are actually really, really cool too. According to the article about the release, they're going to be in Gravis armor, so they're going to be nice, bulky, and tanky, which will help them stay on the battlefield, especially given their three-man unit size. Um, but it also said that they had long-range melta weapons, which is really interesting given how melta weapons are designed to work. Needing that kind of half range to get the extra d6 potential damage is really important. And so getting some sort of like a longer range, maybe 36-inch range uh, Melta weapon sounds really, really interesting and kind of solves a lot of the problems with Melta as a mechanic. So these guys are going to be really cool, and we'll definitely see a lot of play, assuming that the new weapon is decent. So now let's take a look at their sprues. Here on the left side, you can see all the different characters. We have the Blade Guard Ancient, we have the Judiciar, and the Chaplain, and all of their different little options and decorations. And on the right side, you have the Blade Guard Veterans and the Eradicators. Um, it's kind of interesting that the Eradicators are only Melta based. I guess they're going to be kind of like the Hellblasters were beforehand, but the fact that they're so heavy and a lot of people are kind of equating them to aggressors, it's really going to be interesting to see how they end up playing out once we see their rules. Um, but all of those different pieces on one sprue set's definitely going to be really helpful for a lot of people to kind of get all that they need from the new set and the new releases for their armies. Next up, we have the Outrider Squad. Everybody already kind of knew that these guys were coming. We had seen a leaked image of the Primaris bikers, but it's awesome to see a actual model for them now. Um, they look really bulky. The model is awesome. I know a lot of people like White Scars and Ravenwing are looking for these guys, and according to the release reveal video, the sprues, which we're going to take a look at right now, are actually really customizable. There's a lot of different moving parts. They work well with the upgrade kits for White Scars and for Ravenwing, as well as a million other ways that you can kind of customize and build these models so they can really be tailored to kind of fit in with any faction that you kind of want to bring them in. So I'm really excited to see what these guys can do. Kind of having this fast moving, bulky unit will definitely go a long way towards kind of changing up how we play with Marines these days. So I'm definitely excited to looking at what people end up doing with these guys. And then finally, we have the Assault Intercessors. Everybody loves chainswords. It's awesome that the Intercessors finally get theirs. Not tremendously looking forward to a bunch of intercessors with 50 million attacks, but they're still really cool, and I'm surprised that they honestly didn't come out when the intercessors first came out. But there is one small issue that I have with this kit, which we're going to take a look at when we go to the sprue right now. There's actually only 4 heavy bolt pistols in the individual kit. You have 4 heavy bolt pistols and 1 plasma pistol. So that's really kind of disappointing because most people like to play kind of bare bones units, especially for these kind of troops choices. And so not including that 5th heavy bolt pistol means either you have to obviously cut off that plasma pistol and convert one, or you just have to bring the plasma pistol, um, which is kind of disappointing. So be sure to fish through your bits bins and see if you can find something that kind of looks like these heavy bolt pistols, because I'm sure that the bare bones naked assault intercessors are going to be very, very prevalent in the coming months with the new set. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire box set for the Primaris. The value for this side is probably going to be staggering. There's a lot of characters, and if you kind of look at the equivalently priced box sets, I think the value for like the Primaris half is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $200. And given that this box set is very likely going to come in at $200, this is just a steal. You get the custom or the super special fancy rulebook, as well as the standard rules for this box set for these models, and then the little missions for the starter set. But pretty much, if you're planning on starting a Marine army anytime soon, if you already have a Marine army, if you like these models, it's definitely a steal to buy this right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, click the thumb bell, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time when we talk about the Necrons.